Okay, we're live again. Mute. And close all my windows. Maybe I can edit this part out. Hello, Sheila. Good to see you, dear. Wave. I waved. Let's see here. There we go. I'm on the big screen. I'm not quite caught up. Are you having trouble getting in? Okay. I'm not going to watch me there. Just watch here. She's waving back. How sweet. It's cute. So this week we're going to be talking about the visit that finally came after however long it's been. It's been a difficult waiting for 6 months. But lo and behold, on the 30th of November, Michael did show up and gave a visit to, or had a visit with Joe, and they just had a short talk, and he had explained why it had taken him so long. Basically because they were waiting, you know, they were waiting for for him to decide to do the event, and so he decided, obviously, and did get the event booked, and we're going to Colorado this year, and one of the things that the Angels had indicated was that they have not stopped. They not stopped coming because they were giving up on us or anything like that. They'll never do that. He was talking about them never giving up on us. And Deb, hello, Deb. Carol, say hi to Deb.
Oh, I'm trying to get in.
Oh, okay. She's trying to get in. So she'd probably have to reboot her phone. Anyhow, the Angels were talking about how they'll never give up on us. We give up on them every once in a while because of our insecurity or whatever might be going on. But they, rest assured, they'll never give up on you. One of the things in the visit that was important that we need to take note of is the 50 gates, and it was something that was given back in 2003. I posted the link to the visits where that is on the Gathered Masters Facebook page and the Grand Gathering Facebook page, and I also put up another link on the front of AngelicGate.com so that if you want to get one of the manuals on how to go through the 50 gates, it's an instruction book, so there is a cost to it. I believe it's $35 with like $7 shipping, so it's like $42 altogether. And Joe has it on his site for the same price. So if you get it on my site, that'd be groovy. Anyhow, you can find that and all the visits in the 2003 visits about the 50 gates. Now, when we received the 50 gates, it was, you know, they had given us a time to start and a time to finish, and the first time they gave it was, ironically, 50 days before we were to take the formation in Elgin, Illinois in 2003 at the first, what we called at the time, the Metatron event. And if you go on AngelicGate.com and you look at the past event pictures, there were some really incredible pictures taken during that time. And they look like an angel standing over everybody with a sword and everything. It's pretty cool. That's the event where we had also received the seventh key. Now, we were singing, and as we were singing, the angels sang back to us the key. And they said that we are the key, you are the key. So you are the seventh key. And you can find that information in the visits as well, I believe during that time, 2003, a little later on in that. And it can encourage you to go back and check out some of the older visits, because there's a lot of really good information there. And how I had been digging up, things, processes that we had been doing over the years, and reminding a lot of the masters. Ironically enough, one of the most important things that I personally overlooked was the 50 gates. And this is something where you can go through this at any time during the year. There are some instructions to go with it. You can also use tuning forks for vibration to help you through each gate. This is something kind of like the baptism. It's done with you, for you. So it's not done with someone else. You don't do it in a group setting. As a matter of fact, I keep a notebook when I do this, and I'll write down my gate, and this is for me to see. And at the end of it, I'll burn it. And no, I don't want to go back to it. I don't really care. I see what I see, and then I know I'm going to be doing the 50 gates again, because there was some time there where we had been doing the 50 gates for a few years in a row. And it's surprising that I didn't even pick up on how important it is to just go through the 50 gates for bettering oneself. Deb was talking about, she didn't have a question, she was talking about reading the visits and being able to pull out her 50 gates manual. I haven't found mine. I know it's in a box in the shed, so I got to grab that. I found a bunch of other stuff. Mr. Jeff Stearns just entered the chat. Hello, Mr. Jeff Stearns. Wow, I saw your video the other day, and I got to say, keep them coming, buddy. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Look great. Loved hearing your voice. It's just really, you got a cool, unique voice, and people like to hear you speak. So keep talking and teaching and stuff, because you do that stuff well. Anyhow, I was just talking about the 50 gates and a little bit dabbling in the visit. I haven't really gone full out into anything as of yet. Still want you guys to start entering the room. We're getting a few people here and there. It looks like Carol's having trouble getting in. Oh, wait, she just got in. I'm going to wave at her. All right. And so I'm assuming other people might be having trouble logging into Facebook or into the chat. She just had to reboot her phone. That's cool. And my handy coffee is still here. Carol is saying hello to everyone. All right, so we got a visit. Not a whole lot actually, it is a whole lot. There is a whole lot for us to do. Continuing to go into the Da'oth on a regular basis and gathering that creative energy. He was talking about some of the masters having profound results when they use this process. It would be wise to do this process again this year. And he gave us a new sacred oil, which is the Da'oth oil. And it's to help us get into the Da'oth a little easier. Some folks are having trouble get in, which is not uncommon. It's okay. It's not that you're not getting in. It's just that you may not be seeing what, I don't know what your experience is, so it's hard to say. Some people just see, their eyes shut or black or nothing, and that's okay too. Some people have things happen, so everybody's different. Looks like they'll be coming in 2 milliliter bottles, and the way to get them this time is come to the event, like the Omega fork that he had at the event back in Wisconsin. That was something you can only get at the event. There's certain things that I guess the angels give the people that are coming to the event to be at cause. And they also had reiterated that in this visit, where they were talking about we have given what we have because it is being used. No one will know the benefits of the tools we have given given you to teach the masters if they don't use them. And as you have seen with the sacred oils and the tuning forks, they work well when they are used. So picking up the tools is a good idea, and use them. Did Joe have instructions for the Omega fork? No. I don't believe there were instructions. I never received any. I got an Omega fork. I got married that day too. It was killer. Cindy's here. Hey! Party's on now. And we're waving to Cindy. There you go. I waved. All right. It's kind of like a toot on the that channel where you buy stuff. Hey, give her a toot. Teet, teet. Yeah, I don't have a horn, so I won't be tooting anyway. But I'll wave. Hi. Okay, so he's talking about what we're doing with the work and stuff like that. And back when we received the 50 gate stuff, if you look at what the angels said about it, I already queued up a little bit. Joe was asking about, it's really out of hand, things getting a little out of hand, and things being changed at the gatherings, and information being kind of misinterpreted and then misused. And Michael says, I will tell you what, but we should, yet we will move on. The reason for the resistance is because there's no room for the ego. Oh, this is it. He was talking about, Joe was asking about why people weren't following the script and doing what, the angels asked him to do. And he says, the reason for the resistance is there is no room for the ego. The script is set to serve the masters and enlighten the servants. And Joe says, that's why I put it together. And he says, well, let's speak of what was given you of the 50 gates. They have given you this, that your kind may ascend to the highest, that you may know God. I know all that has been given in the writings that you angels gave us already. Michael, this is the reason I asked you to bring forth the teaching of the masters at this time. This book. This is a very important book to have. I don't know if you have it, but you can get this book on angelicgate.com and Joe's site, wherever. Anyhow, it's a small, easy to read. It's got the churches and the Book of Bricks in it. It's really important to have, and it's teachings that a lot of people have missed out on. I asked you to bring forth the teachings of the masters at this time. Most of that which you were given has been diluted or lost. Some of the words have been changed by others and now mean other than what it was given. Other teachings have been added to ours as if we have said them. Joe, that's the part that drives me up a wall. As you were told when the apostles of Jesus came to him and told him, others are doing works in your name, he said to them, do nothing. It is for the same reason you were told that when others say they are doing works in our name. Do nothing. Teaching the masters will give back that which was lost and that which we give anew. The gates are working through the masters to see again the truth, and they will come to know the love that is. So, and then he says something about it being an uphill battle, and Michael says, battle them not. Okay, so great, don't battle anybody. Well, guess what? We're just going to keep the information the way it was given. And so that's why we have the archive site, that's why we have these videos, and that's why we have all this good stuff. What was the title of that book? It was backwards. Was it backwards? Oh yeah, it's because I've got this thing facing me. Here's the other side. No, I'm just kidding. It's called Teaching the Masters, the Instruction Book God Forgot to Give You by Dr. Joe Crane. So anyhow, if you go to angelicgate.com, look on the left-hand side, you'll see 50 gates. Just click on 50 gates manual, and you'll see the manual and that book. So I have them both there for you, or at least a little write-up about it. I didn't put any pictures on it yet. I know Joe has these printed up, and I know he's going to be printing them up because Michael mentioned it, and it is something that is important for us to do. So now, moving on from all of that stuff, know that we can keep this stuff going the way that the angels gave it to us, because we have this information kept for us the way it was given to me in my emails and stuff. So don't worry about any of that other nonsense. Go to the angelicgate.com and read the 2003 visits. There is a ton to go in. I mean, I'm scrolling and I'm not even done. There's like 6 or 7 visits on this particular year. Some years there's a lot of visits, some years there's a few visits. This was one of those more busy years. We were getting tuning forks, 50 gates, oils, all kinds of groovy stuff. Joe was stumbling upon things during that time. There was a lot coming through, as well as a lot of gatherings going on at that time. And we could still get back onto those, and we have the manual. It's easy. It's not changed. Simple, easy stuff. Wow, room's filling up. There was only going to be 6 of you people, and you guys are showing up out of the blue. I love it. Jose is here. Oh, James is asking, is it orange now? I don't know. Is it?
Nope.
I don't know. It's not. Ann Polson is here. Oh, I love that lady. She always gives my heart a little pitter-patter. She's just so cute. Is the 50 Gates a workbook? Yes. Okay. Glad you asked about that. The 50 Gates is a workbook. It comes in a workbook form. This is the Sacred Manual, Sacred Herbs Manual. It looks similar to this, but it has different days. It has 50 different things that you go through. Some of them are 1 part, some of them are 2 part. There are tuning frequencies that you can use to help you get through those gates if you have the forks. If not, don't worry. You can still get through the gate. Just work through it. You may get through the first time. You may not get through the first time. You never know. And it's not important that you get through the gates. It's important that you do the process. The process is the important part. When it comes to the angels, it's the process. When they give us something, it's for a reason, and it's generally with a process, okay? So, you know, like the Da'oth, there's a process in order for us to get into the Da'oth. So we follow that process, and we'll get into the Da'oth. I don't know about you guys, but me, I'm having some really cool stuff happening in my life. Things are getting easier to do. Life is just lifing along, but it's going in a direction that I like. And, you know, it's hard to explain until you really have to experience your own life, because you can create a wonderful life. You don't have to have billions of dollars in the bank and cars and all those things in order to have a wonderful life. The things that are happening in my life are very, very special. I have people coming into my life that I love and adore, and I get to have more of them around me all the bloody time. And, you know, it's something that you don't take the time to do, is spend time with others and interact with others, and therefore we're going to go do other things, you know. There's just a lot going on in life, so go out and live it and have fun. You know, and if it behooves you to teach the people about that you're hanging out with about the work that we're doing, share it with them, because a lot of the folks that I'm talking to are embracing it. I mean, I really can't go anywhere without it coming up. That's what I do. I mean, it's people ask what I do. Well, hang out with me for a while. That's what I do. I teach people that you're all you need to be. That's what I do, basically, if you really get down to it. And I make these really cool stars, and you know, they do really cool things to water and food. I'm really excited about this next event. There's a possibility of some really cool people showing up, and what we have an opportunity to do through revisiting the 50 Gates. Wow, that's an inward journey where you get to discover things about yourself that you didn't know. And then you come to grips with those things about yourself and learn to love yourself, because the Book of Bricks is how you get through those other things too, right? Remember, the Book of Bricks will help you through any struggles or strifes that you have. Real easy read, and it's there for you. So there's no oils or anything that go with the 50 gates. I do know you could use some frequencies. It would be wise to look at your Holy of Holies when you come through the 50 gates. At the end of going through the 50 gates, you may want to visit your Holy of Holies because you've come through a lot and things may work out pretty good for you in that aspect. It's just an idea. I think we've done that before. I think we went through the 50 gates and went into the Holy of Holies afterwards. Don't quote me on it. I may be incorrect on that. But it kind of makes sense if you think about it. Because what the angels are offering up to us is how to get deep within inside of yourself so that you can see the greatness that you are. And then when you're in that realm, you don't have to be anything other than who you are. Be yourself, and the people around you just feel comfortable enough to start being themselves too. And the next thing you know, everybody's being themselves. They're authentic. We're having a great time. Cindy Parfit's asking, can I order that handbook from you? Yes, you can. If you go to the angelicgate.com, go down to the 50 Gates manual on the left-hand side, click that, and you can order it there. I also put the link on the Gathered Masters Children of Light page on Facebook, as well as the Grand Gathering on Facebook. So, hoping Joe is getting them printed out right now, because, well, I know he had a stack of them when I was there, so he's not going to run out anytime soon. If he does, he's got a printer that just spits them out and he just binds them, done, sends them off. So it is, he's had a run on these before, so I know he knows how to handle that. You're very welcome, Miss Cindy. So anyhow, not a whole lot going on during this week other than the visit, and it kind of set me into, get ready to go into the 50 Gates mode, because it's a really cool journey. You get to discover things about yourself. The first time we did it was back, like I said, back in 2013, so that was like 15 years ago. So we could have been doing it every year for the last 15 years, but we didn't think to do that. Now we can do it every 50 days if you want, but I would recommend you at least go through the 50 Gates once and check it out, and then continue to do it, because like what Michael said in the visit, it's an opportunity to better oneself. So the 50 Gates is an ongoing inquiry to find out how you are doing in your life with your spiritual path. A lot of people, you're all on your spiritual path and you want to know what you're doing. There you go. It would be wise for the masters to do the 50 Gates process before the conference. This is not something one has to do, but rather something that can be useful to them. So, they're not like this hold a gun to your head kind of guy. It's like, yeah, you can do it, but you don't have to. And that's why I like this work, because you can do it, but you don't have to. And you can believe it, but you don't have to. You can embody it, but you don't have to. And if you do, I could tell you from my experience, tuning forks work well. The oils work really super well. The processes take you to places that you could only imagine going. And then the results of having a life that's abundant in all aspects is really cool and attractive as well. I think I'm just starting to experience a little bit of that, and I have an inkling there will be more. And it will be, I'll have more lessons, of course. There's always going to be more lessons. We have experiences with our gifts and our traps and how we move through those things, and that's why knowledge of our gifts and traps is important. Not as a, projection on someone else, but to look at yourself and see where you're participating. And that's the whole thing about the 50 Gates, is it's about your participation, how you get to show up and how you choose to do this thing. So, it can get really fun. All right, so kind of has tried in the past years to achieve. I was looking at this. All right, so in the visit, he was talking about the numbers. Hey, Jack's here. How you doing, buddy? I think you were here before. Anyhow, in the visit, they were talking about the numbers and how we didn't quite reach them, and how they're not They, of course, never admonish us. They're always in support of us. He says, do not think that the number is missed, that nothing happens. Know that each one that stands with you in the grand formation is at cause. They bring in the vibrations to raise the spiritual energy in your world. As they gathered in the past, their vibrations have brought about a change. Their vibrations have made things a little bit different, a little bit better. This is not an easy matter to bring balance to. This energy, when the balance has been off for so long. When the number is reached, the stimulus needed to achieve the desired result will jumpstart that which is desired. Your kind has tried in these past years to achieve their objective, yet it has not happened. When the energy when the energy shifts, it is not noticeable because it is so slight. However, if the number is reached, the vibrations will be high enough to cause a quantum shift. So again, our participation is very important this year. Anna Casper, hello. Hello, Maggie Bellew. Love you, lady. Haven't seen you in a while. Talk to you a little bit. Hi, Anna. Back to the basics, like your idea. Anna had told me something about going back to the basics this morning, and I couldn't agree more. Break out, dust off those old tuning forks, and start, using them. Use your oils. Order new oils if you've got really old, ancient oils. Get new ones. How are you going to do it? Order them. Get them. Don't know. How do you get the things you need? You go get them. So put it in your heart and go get these things. You can get it at my website or Joe's. And we are once again reaching the time of the Novus Invicta. Now, Michael brought up something about the Novus Invictus, and I think it's important to bring it up again because it's like, 10 days away-ish, 9. TikTok, kids. Can gathered masters, can people that have not been gathered yet participate in the Novus Invictus? Yes. Invite your friends and your family over to your house and have a Novus Invictus party, okay? Michael was talking about it, and here's what he said. You are reaching once again the time of the Novus Invicta. It would be wise for as many masters to participate at this time. Though it is referred to as the birth of the light, it means more than just the sun returning to the earth. This process opens the way for each one doing the process to the light of wisdom, both mentally and spiritually. It will also enhance one's thinking process, boy, I need that, so that they will make wiser decisions and fewer mistakes. The Novus Invicta process will also assist the masters in reaching the conference number this year. It could be the shot in the arm that we need. It's that time of year that these things start happening. The light starts returning, and this is coming into late winter. Next up, we're going to have spring, and then late spring, and then summer, and then late summer, and then fall. And then we're going to have winter, and then late winter again. So we'll have the 7 seasons flowing, but right now is the time to reap what we did and have. So, boy, oh boy, Novus Invictus is going to be fun. Let's see here. What visit are you reading from? Anna Casper is asking what visit I'm reading from. I am reading from the November 30th visit from last Friday. November 2 weeks ago. November 30th, 2018, Joe had a visit. The one that was before that was in May 28th. It's been a little bit in between, and they were just waiting to see if Joe wanted to do the event, and, anyhow, here we are. And Paulson's here. Anyhow, let's see. And I lost my place. Thanks, Ann. I'm kidding. Okay. watching once again. I'm Novus Invictus. All right, so he said that Michael had, after he had talked about the Novus Invictus, he says you guys have been given enough and it'll keep you busy until the next visit. So I'm assuming he's going to come after the first of the year because hopefully he'll have something for us to do. We've got processes that'll come up. And some of you will choose to do the 50 gates process. You can do it now, you can do it later. I would start as soon as you get your hands on the manual and just start going. What I do is I get a notebook. I was going to explain this earlier. I get a notebook and I write in each of the gates, okay? I don't write out longhand what the gate is and all that. I just write my answers to the gate. And I keep my book the way it is so that I can keep using this workbook, okay? So I don't write in my workbook unless I have notes or something, but you can do what you want. You can write in it, but I do it in a separate thing, and then after I'm done with it, personally, I burn my results. I don't keep those. I just send them off into the great cosmos. So, anyhow. 50 gates coming up if you choose to do it. I really highly recommend you do. And then if you participate in the Novus Invictus, again, like I was saying earlier, anyone can participate in the Novus Invictus. If you don't have the items to do the Novus Invictus, just follow the instructions as best you can and don't worry about not having items. You don't need to substitute one item for another item. Michael's oil's not going to stand in for Shekinah's oil, and Shekinah's oil's not going to stand in for somebody else's oil, and Master's oil's not going to stand in for any other oil. So don't worry about that. Just use what you got. Make it real simple. Take the pressure off yourself. And the instructions are in the latest newsletter. I have that link on the Gathered Masters site as well as on the Grand Gathering site. And if you want, I can email you a copy of it. I have it in a file. I keep it. Joe calls me every year. Hey, where's that Novus Invictus thing? I got it in a file waiting for him because I know he's going to call and say, hey, where is it? So I got it right there for you guys. Anyhow, real easy to do. Again, anybody can do it, gathered or not. Hopefully, if they come and do it, they may get interested in gathering and would help bring up a conversation for you to have with your friends and family about gathering and stuff, you know. I'll take that, please. You bet. I'll send one over after we're done chatting. That's not a problem. Easily done. So Kathy Benson is watching again. Oop, there we go. No, I don't want quiet. There we go. Oh, I'm doing that thing again where I'm playing with the screen and it's doing... I can see what it's doing, but you can't see that it's blocking. Anyhow, never mind. I got it fixed. I'm not going to touch it anymore. You bet, Anna. Happy to send you any kind of information you need. Boy, you know, we've just got so much that we can do. It is wise to start, you know, tuning yourself, or at least meditating. The Da'ath gives you a reason to meditate on a daily basis. Michael did mention what happens to you when you go into the Da'ath, that you are absorbing this creative energy and creating a really cool time in your life. So far for me, we're digging it. Carol's happy, I'm happy. Seems like my mom's happy. Everybody's happy. So we're going to keep going in that direction and work on what comes up as it comes. You know, if something comes to interrupt your flow, go with it and see what it's offering you to learn. You know, these obstacles that pop up in our lives are not a test. It's a learning opportunity to see how you can overcome and, develop yourself. And the 50 Gates does develop you into a individual that has a spiritual connection with your creator, or whatever you call a creator, you know, God, whatever works for you. I like God. God works. Everybody else knows what I'm talking about when I say that. There was, that reminds me, the 72 names of God came up a few times during some of the visits and stuff like that. And in 2007, Michael gave Joe one of the names of God that hadn't been spoken in 7,000 years. And I was really sitting on the edge of my seat waiting for Joe to come up with this thing, and I thought that it was a really important thing. And he said that it describes both the male aspect and the female aspect of the I am. And what he said was, doth, lin, doth. Okay? So I don't know if it's da-off. It's not da-off, but it's doth, lin, doth. Or is it da, lin, da? One of those two. I didn't write it down because I couldn't spell it. And even if I did, I'd have to dig through all my stuff to find out what I wrote. But I guess I'll have to ask him again, and maybe he'll bring that up. But just an idea that popped into my head, something that they had given us a long time ago, that people that, we may have not noticed or forgotten about. Because there is so much, it's easily done with this work, and it's like, I even miss stuff like the 50 gates. Geez, it's a tool. So, does anybody have any questions? Anything that you guys need to know about where to find something, when something happened, where to get something, where to order it? If not, I think we're open to questions. Hopefully I'm getting questions. Let me see, is it? Oh, I'm not even on that. Looks like we got a thank you. So, all right. Working on the herb thing. I'll have more about that extraordinarily soon, hopefully within the next week. Let's see here. Cindy Parfit, I'm not alone in my frustration. What are you frustrated about, sweetie? Is it because this thing's not sending right? Are you watching this? Are people saying things I'm missing? Am I missing something?
I can see it.
Okay. Let's see the book. This one? Teaching the Masters? I'm sorry it's backwards. It's got the basically info about today's masters. Then it goes into Mastery in Action, and then the Book of Bricks. And then it talks about the 7 churches. And then it talks about, this is where the apology is. The apology's in this book too. And forgiveness. Apologies on page 111. It's really quite a tearjerker. Get a box of tissues out. Oh, the manual, the herb book. Oh, sorry. This one? Well, I was looking through it myself, and there was a lot of mistakes made in this particular manual. So I'm going to go ahead and see what I can do to correct some of those mistakes, and that might just be enough to alter it to where it could be. Maybe that's why it didn't take off, because of the mistakes that are made. And it's just verbiage. Michael at that time was talking about how altering or changing their words is not going to really benefit the masters very well, and they may get confused and lose touch. Geez, we haven't heard of the Sacred Herb Manual in years. Well, there's some information in here that's kind of misinformation. Just regarding herbs and the flow and that, she goes by the flow by the color, which it's not, it goes by the church. It doesn't go by the color. Anyhow, that's what Michael gave. I know I'm frustrated about not being able to hand this over to people right now. Joe doesn't even have the file to print one out for you, so that's where that's at. Again, I'm going to get that up and running as soon as I can. It's very important. You can get the visits from that, and if you can connect with somebody that has a manual, work together. You never know. If it's that important to you, you'll find a way. I got one right there. Call me. I'll tell you what's up. So, anyhow. Let's see. I think we got it all. I think we're doing pretty good as far as time goes. We're about 40 minutes in. Laurel Tinney is watching. Better late than never, lady. I love you. Laurel Tinney. She's so cute. She's from Colorado. Little bitty cutie pie. Sweetheart of a lady. Don't cross her. Just don't ever. All right. Repeat the name again. The name of what? The book? Teaching the Master's Book. And then I have 7 Sacred Herbs Manual, but you can't get this one yet. It's not available at this time. So there you go. For those of you just joining us, just roll back to the beginning of it. I'm going to go ahead and save this. I do have all the videos up and current on thegrandgathering.com. Also, we have a contribution button on there if you'd like to contribute to what I'm doing here on the front of angelicgate.com, and on the page where these videos are kept. You can send me money for what I'm doing and help me with the website, because I really need help with the website. Got to do a revamp on the Angelic Gate site, and the Grand Gathering site has some plug-in stuff that I'm not sure of, and it's already costing me like $10 a month to just have the darn thing anyway. So it's a little more than what the other one was. It was only like $2 or $3 at first, and now it's way up there. So anyhow, it doesn't matter. We're still gonna have the site, but I could use some help. Angel readings. If you would like to have an angel reading, I have a page on angelicgate.com. Go to About Us, and you can book your angel reading there. They generally take about 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. Sometimes they'll run a little over, sometimes they'll run a little under. And I'd be happy to do those with you guys or for you guys. So also do other stuff. You could poke around the website and see what else I do. I got some laminar stuff that'll make your food taste really good. Found a couple bowls over here too, so if you guys want a bowl, I actually do have those available, and I'm actually making some new stuff, and I got some cool new jewelry coming out soon. Anyhow, it's been a great night. I think we covered a lot. The angel visit was short and sweet, to the point. Go into the Da'oth, do the 50 gates if you have it. If you don't have the 50 gates manual, get one. It's not an order. It's something you can do, but if they're recommending that you do it, you should probably do it, on account of they're just bringing us things that are going to move us forward and give us the lives that we really desire to have. I'd like a world that works for everybody. You want a world that works for everybody. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take this trip again next week. As usual, I don't know the date right off the top of my head. Okay, December 20th. It is not Christmas Eve. All right, I think we're going to take... Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do next week. It's on the 20th. It's not an important day. Cindy's saying that the Shekinah oil works great with the Da'oth. I would imagine the Astral Mental Fork would work too. The Shekinah oil works great with the Da'oth. Cool, try it out. Let's see. Tune your chakras. See if that helps. Use your church oil. Use Michael. Use any oils you want to use, but go ahead and go into the Da'oth if you can. And if you haven't been into the Da'oth yet, you need to have someone let you in. There's 11 gatekeepers that can do this. There's Ken Elliott and Sherry Maney in the Colorado area. There's myself in Northern California, and then there's Caroline in the Central Valley, and then way up north we got Eliona. And that's the 5 out on this side, and then there's 6 folks over in the Florida area that can do this. I believe it's Diane Daniels, Jeff Stearns, really cool guy. He put out a cool video last week. You should watch it. He has a subtlety to him that's awesome, and he's quite a powerful dude. He's got a great story. He cured his own cancer. He didn't really buy into the medical thing. Thought it was great. No. Okay, Jack McConnell, 7,000. I don't know what 7,000 means, but that's cool. I'll take $7,000 bucks. No, I'm kidding. That would be way too much for me. I'd blow that all on Black 22, man. I'm telling you, I'd get the gambling fee. No, I don't gamble. joking. I was just in Reno last week. It was really great. It's a 700-year-old name. Oh, 7,000-year-old name. Da Lin Da. Sounds kind of, what are those guys on Star Trek? Klingon. Sounds Klingon. Da Lin Da. That's it. I remember him saying it now. Da Lin Da. So it kind of sounded like the Da'at to me, but I didn't really want to associate it with it, but you never know. Oh, hey, 7 Names of God. Do those. If you do them once or twice a day, see what happens. You know, by yourself, say it out loud. With some friends, get together and say the 7 Names of God 9 times at least, and then the last one, do the Om. Boy, it's shifting the energy. Right now we get to have a lot of really wonderful things happen in our lives, and when we invoke certain things, you know, like let's say you don't have any tuning forks or oils, just saying the 7 Names of God 9 times out loud, you're going to create a really cool thing. I'm also looking to see if I can get a chakra tuning on the Grand Gathering or on AngelicGate.com. It's not going to be as great as having tuning forks, but it'll at least tune the chakras. I'm thinking a YouTube video with colors and pictures and sounds and stuff. Barry Goldstein put out a song about 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago, called Rainbows of Love. And that was with Joe doing the chakra balance in the background, but he only covered 7 of the chakras. He didn't do the outer ones, and he did from the root up. And our tuning is from the heart out. So maybe I'll talk about how to do a chakra tuning next time. All right, so we're cruising up onto 7 o'clock. I'm running out of things to say. I do recommend we go into the Da'ath. Remember, when you go in, if you've been in before, you take your tuning fork, you strike it. It's down, up, clockwise, and down. There you go. You'll be in. And next week on Thursday the 20th, same gathering time, same gathering channel. And as always, my blessings, my gifts, my deeds.